Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the StartX remote start for the 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma. All you got to do is click it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It'll beep it one more time. And then starts up. So it's about roughly 5 seconds before it starts up after you press it 3 times. Okay, so now that we've remote started it, let's open up the vehicle and let's see what happens. So it shuts off, and this is a feature from Toyota. I guess you could call it a feature. It's to help prevent theft. So if you start it and someone was able to get the door open, it shuts off. Now there's better ways of doing that from other automakers that I've seen, but that's the way Toyota does it. Okay, now something I want to test is just how far can I remote start. So I'm going to walk way over here and see just how far the remote will work. All right, I'm going to try it from here. All right, start it up. That's pretty far. Now if you want the truck to stop with the remote, all you gotta do is click it 3 times. And it shuts off. So one of the main reasons why you would want a remote start is for a couple reasons. The first one would be like in the winter time, if you wanted to heat up your engine, kind of warm it up before you got into it. And the second reason would be to control the climate. So you could have it start up, have the AC going before you even get in, have it nice and cool, and same with the heat. And I know that some manufacturers, based on the temperature outside, it will automatically adjust the climate for you, so that like in the summertime, if it's really hot and you remote start, it'll crank the AC for you, and that when you get in, it's nice and cool. And the same with the heater. So we're going to go ahead and test and see if Toyota does the same. I suspect that it doesn't, but I hope that it does. Let's see. So what I'm going to do to test this is I'm going to turn this all the way down to level 1. I'm going to go out and remote start, and I have a camera on the GoPro in here, and we'll see if it stays on level 1 or if it cranks it all the way up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start it up. Let's open it up. It's going to shut off. Now if I hop back in, let's start it up and see what it does. Okay, so when I started it up, it remained on level 1. Now let's check the GoPro footage and see if it also stayed on level 1. So as I expected, it won't automatically turn it all the way up based on the temperature outside. So whatever setting you leave it at when you turn off the vehicle and exit, that's the same level that it's going to be at when you remote start. So during the summertime, if you're going to park your vehicle, just remember to crank it all the way up, and that way when you remote start, you'll have it nice and cool when you get in, or in the winter time, the same with the heat. So there you have it. There's some of the features and how you would use it in real world examples. Now let's move into the install. It was super easy. It was only took me about 30 minutes. It's all plug and play. So I highly recommend this kit if you're interested in getting one. So let's move into the install. For this install, all you're going to need is a 10mm socket, a Phillips head screwdriver, and the StartX remote kit. Now let's unbox the kit. This one is for years 2016 to 2019. They do have other years available, so be sure to check those out. This is the module. You can set this aside for now. It comes with a plug and play wiring harness, a sticker you can place under your hood. Here are the instructions, but who needs that when you have YouTube? And a convenient pry tool. So that's everything you need. Let's take a look at what's inside the bag. This is a hood latch, which you won't need for this install. Comes with some zip ties, and here is the actual wiring harness. You can set this all aside for now, and we can jump in the truck and get started. Okay, first thing you're going to want to do is turn on the truck. Then you're going to want to rotate the wheel 90 degrees, exposing this screw right here. And then you want to rotate the wheel to the left and expose this screw here and undo that one. Okay, after you've done that, you can remove the steering column cover here. Just kind of pull down a little bit on it. Comes off pretty easy. Okay, now the next steps are to remove the driver's side scuff plate and the kick panel trim. So go ahead and remove your floor mats and set them aside. Then you're going to want to grab your pry tool and gently kind of put it under the skid plate. Comes off really easy. You go ahead and set that aside, and then you're going to remove the kick panel right here. And to do that, there is this little pin back here. All you gotta do is just pull on that and it comes off really easy. Then you can lift up and remove the kick panel. Now you're going to grab your 10mm socket and undo this bolt. And then there are two screws, one here and one here. Now you can go ahead and remove the lower dash panel. Go ahead and grab it in the corner here and give it a nice little tug. Everything came off nice and easy for me, and I didn't break any of the clips, which was a nice relief. Now you can go ahead and grab your wiring harness, take the white and black connectors and fish them up behind the panel here that you just removed. Now you're going to remove this clip from the main body ECU. Then take the male end that you just unplugged and connect it into the wiring harness. And then take the male end from the wiring harness and plug it back into the ECU. Now take your two black connectors from the wiring harness and fish them up under the steering column. Now loosen the black steering lock connector from the vehicle, and then you're going to take that male end and you're going to insert it into the female end of the wiring harness. And then you're going to take the wiring harness male end and you're going to insert that back into the vehicle slot. Now you're ready to put the lower dash panel back in. Be sure not to pinch any of the wires off, so you might have to move some of those. It was pretty easy to do. All I did was just start in the corner here and just kind of pushed it in, made sure all the clips were in place. Takes a little bit of massaging, but it was pretty easy to do. Now you can grab your two screws and screw them back in to the lower dash panel here. Grab your 10mm bolt and bolt that back in. Now you can put the lower steering column cover back on. This did actually take me a little bit more time. For some reason the top piece was stuck on something and I just couldn't get it to snap back together, but
After fiddling with it for a few minutes, I finally got it to connect. Now grab your 2 screws that you removed from the steering column and put those back in. Now it's time to program the module. What you're going to do here is press this programming button here and simultaneously plug in the black connector there. The LED lights will alternate in color, and once the blue LED is momentarily lit, release the programming button. It should stay lit. Now you can insert the 3 remaining connectors. You can't mess this up since they're all unique. Now what you're going to do is push the start button twice and wait for the blue LED to flash rapidly. Then you can press the start button once, and then I took some zip ties and I started to tie up the module and some of the loose wires so that when I put it underneath the dash there, that it was nice and tucked away. Next step is to grab your kick panel and put that back into place. There was just 2 clips up in the front and then the 1 removable clip that goes in the back there. Next, grab your skid plate and put that back into place. This just snaps back in, so a little bit of pressure and that pops right back in. Next step is to secure the module and wiring up underneath your dash, so grab a zip tie and find a good spot to do that. And that's pretty much it. The last and final step is to throw in your floor mat. Guys, this install was super easy. I highly recommend it.
All you got to do is click it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully that video was informational for you. Be sure to subscribe. It helps keep me motivated to bring you some good content. Be sure to check out the description for links if you're interested in getting one of these. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.